Like,
They're not using the other. Okay. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome to David Nair on Air. I'm so happy to have you guys. I'm deal. Happy evening, ladies and gentlemen. Second time lucky, Sumana, from last Saturday to now. But we will keep that aside. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on this platform. Truly appreciate from wherever you are viewing us to spend an hour having a look at what we have to talk about in relation to a number of topics, starting off with purpose. We will deep dive into relationships and a few other things. But for today, ladies and gentlemen, I have a wonderful lady on board, and her name is Dr. Sumana Chakraborty, all the way from Calcutta. Welcome. Hello, Dr. Sumana. How are you?
hello, always a pleasure to talk to you, whether here on 10 News or otherwise. Always a pleasure. I'm just here to chit
Always a
chat, so
pleasure to
keep
have a
on doing
discussions, you mean? Yes.
chit chat. To me, that's a chit chat.
Chit chat, yeah. But Sumana, before we deep dive, I know I have not given your brief. I want you to walk through your brief about your personal achievement so far. I think that is vital, and where you stand today compared to where you would have been after college. Forget all the
After,
rest
after,
about it.
after which college? Multiple
Well, I'm
colleges,
talking
you
the first graduation. Okay, I know you've got multiple. Let's talk about the first college.
Okay, after my first college, that's my
Yeah.
undergrads. So undergrads has been with dentistry, where I was supposed to become a dentist. I did become a dentist, registered dentist, who is allowed to start their own clinic and treat patients. Off the record, I did never. I mean, I did go to some clinics here and there, but I never did it actually full time. It just gave me some money to as much money which is required to pay the fees for my post graduation. I earn the amount which I need for my post graduation through those patients, and just got started with post graduation, which is in clinical research and management. I with 1 year of post graduation and another half an year, I had my own drug patented and completed that part. When I did one patency, I was like, this is more than enough. Now I want to change back to doing something else with this. So I became a safety officer, joined corporate. I wanted to go outside India, but my parents kind of said you can go outside India when you're married. So I said I can't get married just to go out of India. So I just joined out corporate out here and got started with my career there. Within about 6 months of my career, I got promoted to a trainer because of the ability that I have on language and communication at that time. And believe me, I had not done my train the trainer by that time. I just got auto upgraded because of the potential that my leaders saw in me, and that was a great encouragement. I just met that leader yesterday, so I mean, I really owe him a lot because he saw that potential in me and kind of mentored me to the right person, directed me to the right person to get it skilled, upskilled. Then I went through all the possible global levels of train the trainer and got myself to the peak of communication and trainership. Did a loads and loads of corporate trainings with TCS, IKS, Cognizant, and IBM, multiple places, multiple times, and loved doing it. Not as a salaried person. As a salaried person, I think I was only with TCS and Cognizant. After that, in 2018, 19, somewhere, I kind of decided I don't want to work as a slave with a corporate. I want to have my own organization. And over a cup of tea or multiple cup of tea, I discussed that with some of my friends, and they said, okay, you be the trainer, I be the business person, I be the content writer, and we all together start off this. And with a very naive idea, we got started. But after that, I never actually entered into a salaried job ever again. I am an entrepreneur full time now, doing freelancing for others, doing some of my work of content writing, some of my most of the trainings, and becoming a coach, author, and getting myself as many potentials as I can. One thing I can say at this moment is I have outgrown from the words of jack of all trades and master of none. You can be master of all trades no matter what, as long as you know what you're trading and how you're trading. That's it. You can just be the master of trading. And I'm developing myself to that, just the
Very,
master of trading.
very, very true. Not jack of all trades. But the reason why I twist this around, Sumana, is for you to now realize you had a profession that you got into. Now, was that profession something that came through because you were in the current of society and they were saying this is what we got to do? Or was it something you had a passion for back then to become a dentist?
I wanted to become a doctor.
Mhm.
My scores didn't allow me to become a MBBS.
Right.
So dentistry was the only thing that I had at that time to come on, go through. When I went into dentistry, I did not like some parts of it. I liked some part of it, and then I did not like some part of it. The worst thing is that worst and the best is that in the third year when I first saw evidence based medicine, I it just hooked me like anything. It's
Right.
almost like when we now talk about purpose, it's a calling from outside that
Mm.
this is for me no matter what happens. That's what evidence based medicine did to me in my third year of my dentistry. I never wanted to part from that, so by the time had become a doctor, and I never leave anything halfway. So because I started off, I did complete it, I did become a dentist, but I was also very sure that don't want to waste my life being in the clinic at all. Okay, so I in the preliminary phases I used the money in the clinic to fund my PG, because my dad really said that it's over and done. Now you're supposed to give me ROI of the money that we invest for
Can't cap
undergrad.
my account.
Yeah. So I had to run away from my house. I had
Yeah.
to literally run away from my house and do this. But I loved every moment of it. And I
Hmm.
returned when I could establish myself, and my parents could say that okay, this is good and can be helpful to us. And because the drug that I patented also benefited my sister. That's one of the reasons.
Excellent. Excellent. I knew that part of the story too. Now, skimming through some of the key areas, what a paradigm shift from being in medicine and being in the profession to something like coaching. Yeah, both of them are service driven, but one is different in respect to deep diving into the insides of a person trying to fix it, whether it's mouth, whether it's a heart, or whatever it is. But on the other side of the spectrum, you are now working and deep diving into people's minds, trying to get them upright, going in the right direction. What
In
caused that shift?
practicality, the most important difference that I had to face and practice and become a very different person is I was, as a doctor, I am supposed to be that high ego attitude person giving an instruction and an advice and telling people, you got to do what I'm telling you to do, shut up and do what I'm telling you to do. Versus now, as a coach, I am into that thing where I'm only asking them a question, powerful question, which makes them themselves realize. So
Yeah.
when I did my coaching, I did apply that to some of the patients and doctor language, and I saw that that impacts a lot. So doctors who are listening to this, coaching actually helps you to ask powerful questions to your patients as well, and kind of show them that they are also in control of their health, and so on and so forth. So that's kind of the shift that happened to me. Also, one thing that I have realized in myself always, that nothing in the world can actually create a limit for me.
Hmm.
Even if I'm a doctor, I can also be a coach, I can also be a trainer. Even if sometimes I'm not paid enough, my bills are not fulfilled enough, still I get the guts to next day drive again and still stay with my passion, maybe work something else to pay my bills and then come back and work. So I'm talking about 2 years ago, maybe even now sometimes it can be that I have a huge thing to say, and I'll be like grabbing something out. So also, let me tell you, because I've learned it once, I can now go and just assist any doctor into the clinic. That's always open to me. So I
Yes.
don't have any kind of fear that if I go now to a dentist place, will I be able to do a work on a patient? Because I know I've learned it. I have my confidence in myself. I don't look for
Yeah.
that. That's
Now, interestingly enough, that's given you that perspective of an overview of how you can deep dive with people. I'm going to open up a completely different segment. And
okay.
ladies and gentlemen, hear me on this, okay? Now we're going to deep dive into Sumana, Dr. Sumana
I'm scared. Can
Chakraborty.
I leave?
We
Yeah.
forget all the others. We're going to park. I wanted you to let it all out. Now, what made you decide after all that success, after having patents, and then you can stand on your 2 feet and you can do everything else that you want to do without even traveling abroad? You cannot and comply with your family. What made you decide to get married?
One of the basic reasons is in front of me right now is the person, but at the same time, let's
He
park
shouldn't
that
be there.
aside for
Tell
now.
him I am talking with you. He's not to be there,
Yeah, so
okay?
parking that one aside, the most first priority is that because of the confidence in that person. But parking that aside, let me talk about the scene that I know you're asking me for. What changed
Hmm.
in me? I won't say anything which changed in me, frankly. The point is, I outgrew my earlier version and I saw a potential of doing more than just what I'm doing in my career and alone or singlehood.
Right,
I mean, my friendships and my everything. One major important factor, which is a very fact of my starting off with relationship and marriage, is that I want to give my parents that peace of mind that when they are not there, there'll be someone and another family who would be taking care of me. It's a very sentimental thing for my parents, and I really want them to give that extended family some other people, and maybe in the coming time some kids to play with. I mean, I'm not saying anything, but saying anything, whatever, just a wish. If you know what I'm saying. So it's just that giving them that kind of companionship, giving them another family to interact with, as well as me giving them that peace of mind that when they're not around, there's somebody else who's taking care of me. Not like a competition, but like a collaboration. So
so
that's
that's
something
interesting. You say it's just to give comfort to your parents that you've decided to get into a relationship like this with.
that really did start it off. I'm frank.
Okay,
I'm very frank.
okay. Now, how did that blossom?
It gave me a entry pass to a roller coaster ride, which I'm still in.
I want the roller coaster ride. Okay, I want to get the spices out here so I can turn around and say, "Listen, this is the girl. I'm gonna hold her out to it."
So yes, it's a roller coaster ride, and frankly, I'll tell you one thing very frankly. In this roller coaster round, I am finding a better version of myself almost each and every day. Each major conflict, each major issue that I face, when it doesn't kill me, it actually makes me not only stronger but a better version of myself. And nowadays, it's not about being stronger; it is more about being calmer, more about being more mature than I was yesterday, and understanding another person completely, which is like a lifetime duty, I guess, because it's not going to happen in one day or two. But it's lovely. And should I say yes, communication plays a lot of, yes, a lot of the role is communication. Yet to be able to know when to communicate is very, I'm learning that pretty much. I'm pretty much learning that. I think we got lost in between. Can you hear me, David?
No, I can hear you.
Confirm
You
whether you can hear
proceed.
me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so to me, like, yes, communication, but the time of communication. When am I communicating with a person? When I'm keeping silent? What am I telling to myself? It has become hundred folds for me. And as in last year, I think after that only I had a last talk in this channel itself. But the reason why I said that mental resilience is important is to format my brain in a way that I can deal with situations or have a process inside my brain to be able to bring the resilience in. So those practices are something that I keep doing whenever I find myself getting out of control, my mind getting out of control, emotions getting out of control. It brings me back to whatever is possible. It takes time, but it brings me back to whatever is possible. um we
Wonderful,
are
wonderful. It
none of
actually
us are
opens
saying
up. It actually
okay.
opens up my chapter for you. And welcome to the audience to this subject of resilience, and particularly this particular mastermind, which we call Mental Resilience Mastery, which Sumana is part of also. And pardon me, when I rewind the video to 12 months ago, and I recall seeing Dr. Sumana Chakraborty walk in and do all of the things that she's going to do and do and undo, and eventually to see where she is today, 12 months downstream, a total chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
If that spouse is listening, he better listen hard and strong. Anup, are you there? I hope you are there. The lotus flower has just opened up, and you don't know what is going to happen downstream. You better get your guards up, my pal. Now, moving on from here. I know you're a bit embarrassed, but you can take that. Moving on
So
from
yeah,
here.
I mean, on screen I'm being Emrans. On screen I'm talking about so-called emotions and relationships. All these are a big challenge for me,
Yes,
and I'm still facing it, making me stronger, not killing me. Thank you.
it's not a magic wand that you can fix all of that. But the interesting thing, though, pardon me, Sumi, is you have come through, and you are able to now grasp contents that you want, templates that you want, modalities that you want, and fix it in. Excuse me, and fix that in. And in so doing, you are now a different person, a different perspective to viewing whatever the situation is, whether it's relationship, whether it's business, or whether it's actually having a go at your parents and saying, this is my job and I'm going to do this. That's you. And so it's good that you're able to do that with comfort. So I salute you
Mm,
for that.
thank you.
Moving
Still a long way
from
to go to me. To me,
ah,
it's still a long way to go.
I wish I could say everything is easy. And I recall one thing that my dad told me: the day you stop stretching is the day you die. That was the advice I was given. So
I used to think that stretching is only daily exercise. That's the error.
now let me deep dive into this emotional aspect. The role of emotions in relationship. You want to share some points on that?
Um, Let me start that with defining my own emotions. It's very, very
Yes.
volatile. It's very, very volatile, and it's very, very undefined. I have tried, and this is going on and on and on. I can't express my emotions sometimes very properly. When it's too much overdose of emotions, I can't express it. I want to cry, but actually I'm shouting. I want to actually hug someone tight, but actually what I'm doing is I'm running away. So my actions and what I really intend to do gets all messed up when I'm emotional. So that's me, and it has not changed. I'm not changed as a person at all. What I can say has become a bit different is now I've become more self aware about it. So after that uncontrolled phase is gone, I can recontrol myself and sit and understand my own emotions pretty much well. So I used to as an empath, a natural empath, I used to think that understanding others emotions gets you there in relationship. I was very wrong, and my self realization has kind of taught me, my experience has taught me, it is your own emotions, understanding and being able to express a genuine emotion is what gets you into a good relationship. Your own emotions, not the other person's emotions. That's very secondary, because what they are feeling, you might be thinking that you know what they are feeling, but you don't. What you know is what you think you are thinking. Like, that's what's you that's reflects, the emotions reflects what you are thinking inside. So if something is somebody's if when I'm hurt, I have now learned to actually shed tears. I'm
Yes.
hurt, genuinely hurt. um and still in a very high triggered zone, emotionally triggered zone, I might still lash out on someone who is very important to me, like my mom or my fiance. Because the closer they are, the more lashes they get. That's so unfortunate of them. Yet I really am, I'm trying very hard. I'm in the process, and I'm trying to become a better version that way. Let's see. It might not be right now, but sometime or the other it will be, where I can stop being this person to them. The relationships, understanding this and then being able to reflect that on them, being able to stop my emotional expression, at least those lash outs at the right time, reactions at the right time, or distancing myself from them at the right time and not letting them really get hurt by it, is the very first thing. The second thing is communication of emotions, like really saying, I was hurt by what you said, I did this did affect me, or did this made me sad, this is what made me sad. Even if that is by writing journals and writing till I get the right words to share. And here content writing doesn't come into action
No.
somehow. It's understanding my own emotional level and being able to find the right word for it is an exercise in itself, which has to be done, and then kind of share to the other person as well, that this is what I am feeling. Okay, sometimes I am actually sad, but I say I am tired because I am sad and that emotional burden is making me feel physically tired. So I am more concentrated towards understanding that I'm physically tired, not seeing that actually I'm emotionally drained because of
Yeah.
whatever happened. So, and the words, before I used to say I'm tired, now I say I'm drained.
Mm.
So which kind of triggers in my mind to think whether I'm mentally, physically, or emotionally drained. All the
Yes.
three can be drained, but all the three can't be tired. So the right words, thanks to Nawaz for that, and words, use of the right words, right places. She helped me a lot with that, and being able to understand that. I mean, I'm still, again, I'm saying I'm very very naive at this still now. I'm still in the school level, not even graduated, not even gone to the college maybe, but I am really making progress from where I was, to where I am now. I was a very shut down person, and now I am trying to open up to myself and to others, being able to acknowledge that I am hurt at the moment. I am happy at the moment. Okay. And appreciating the other person's effort, that they are still going on with me when I'm at my worst situation or my best situation. So yes, I'm doing that a lot.
Excellent. Excellent. I am reflecting back when I first met you about 2 years ago, 18 months or 2 years ago. I could not see you. You were below the screen level and your face was just up here. And I thought, who is
Because
this
I was
person?
bored.
I recall that you came to a mastermind and that's how you were. But
Yeah, because
what,
I was bored.
sorry?
I was bored.
Oh, really? At that mastermind?
Yes.
So you had to be below the belt is what you're saying. Let me hit them below the belt. But what I'm saying is through that process, I could see not only just your communication skills have improved, but you rationally think before you're coming through with any outburst, if you have any. Not that it's there. And before I even deep dive into this, I salute you and thank you for being
Every
so open
situation.
and
Yeah.
understanding where you're going to now hopefully through this discourse have some other people benefit from it. So thank you for that first. Deep dive into communication. What are some of the areas that you had to focus on? I understand emotion was one, but specifically, what was the process you went through to analyze and say, okay, I need to fix this area, this area, this area? How did you go through that?
Mm, I'm bringing a bit of purpose in this because that's like the ground point
Please
or the
do it.
bullseye
Please
for me.
do it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of, you can call it as a ground point, ground level, or you can call it as a bullseye. So whenever I'm finding myself lost, like I don't know where I am, what's happening, what did I want, and where did this conversation go, or where did this particular entire situation go? Not like out of control or in control, that's secondary, but what I needed as an outcome never came out of this, and where it is now, I am lost. So that's a very frequent thing that anybody comes across in a relationship, because it's more than one person. So it's
Yeah.
kind of, both of them impact the entire situation. So when that kind of thing happens, I bring in to think, that's what is my purpose behind this. So
Mm.
why am I in this relationship? Why this person? I ask this question to myself almost every day, and even more than once a day. Why did I choose this person? I mean, what was my original reasons to do it? Was a kind of trust I have on him. and the friendship that I have on him, and everything, all aspects of it. Also, underlining the fact that I am doing this also for my parents, so it's not only me and Anup, my fiance, what's kind of impacted. It's also the both the families that get impacted, so on and so forth. So that gives me again the focus back to what do I really want and how much diverted did this go. Okay, so I then use either a form of communication. Silence is the best form of communication in some
Yep.
places. So when I'm saying communication also means silence. So either it's silence, me time, um, a dance, three dances together
Mm-hmm.
to tire myself off completely physically, or going forward and talking to random people just like that to kind of get out of the thing that is going on in my head. Anything which is required at that moment, I kind of do. And when I don't find anything, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I just approach this guy. I mean, even night at 2 o'clock at night, I just approach this guy who you see on the screen, David Nair. I just ping him directly. I've lost it completely. So tell me what to do. And I just, and when I
Now,
do that, I
now
blindly
is the
follow
time I should go
him.
under the screen.
No, the point here is when I do that out of desperation, when if and when I do that out of desperation at 2 o'clock or at the dawn time, if I do that, that desperate I am. I'm also very diligent at whatever he says, even if it is pack your bags and go for a trek. I do it. I do it. I mean, I never question what he is telling me. I just go ahead and do it because whether it works or not doesn't make sense. Anyways, I'm not. I don't know the solution. So, by the way, there is someone here who's also raising their hands with the fact that I also give such things, and it's true. My fiance also brings out those solutions for me, and I do my best also to go ahead and do that. This is no competition. So
I, I'm going to get him and you in for a talk. I don't know whether I'll do it before the wedding or after the wedding. Will he be stabilized by then?
I don't think you'll get the opportunity before the wedding. But anyway, I hope after the wedding in this
Uh,
lifetime itself you have that opportunity. All the best to you
Sorry,
on that.
continue, ma. Continue.
So that's kind of a thing that I do. I mean, I go to every level of all of this. And one of the things that stands out about my personality is I never go and reason with people, and I never go and explain to anyone. So I am very stern at whether I did my 100% to something or not. I define it for myself. So that's one of the factors which helps me have very quality relationship with anybody. I don't need external validations. I don't even need the other person validations to tell me how am I behaving with that
Yeah.
person. I know when I've done something wrong, and I know when I've done something with the right intention, even if that looks wrong to the other person. So my self judgment is very good and has always been very good since my childhood. Somehow it's a talent that was there and I groomed it a lot. So that helps me. And the people who don't have this kind of talent in themselves, they should groom this, because external validation makes you very weakened up. Your own consciousness gives you the very right answers to face yourself at any time, asking yourself, did you actually give the best of it? And in anything, any situation, it helps you a lot to just be honest with yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
And then you can decide whether you want to face that honestly or you want to hide under the blanket. Both
Yeah.
the options are still there with you, as
So,
long as.
so, so true. I notice there's a lot of linkages here to support structures and other people and the likes. Can you just elaborate out to the public, to the masses out there, the benefit of a support structure, whether you're going through a relationship or whether you're going through a divorce, whether you're going through any crisis, what do you see could be the key benefits for a support structure? And we can call it mastermind, whatever you want, but a support structure.
I'll take a quick example. Now, let's say I am at the moment really, I am not, but let's say that at the moment I'm really very upset with one person. Okay, just one sec, David. Can you switch on the switch from here, please? Okay. The if let's say I am very upset with one person in my life, maybe my mom or my dad or someone, anybody, mom or dad or fiance, I'm really upset with that person and I don't want to confront them. So even if I'm upset with my mom, if I tell that to my dad, won't give any benefit to me, right? Because they are in the same party. They're only going to be more and more irritated, right? Or kind of check on me. So I can just go to one of my friend. I'm just saying that for no better word. Friendship can be anybody. David is my friend. So I mean, friendship, the word friendship when I'm using for the support system only. So people who you know will not judge you, because you have at least 10 people around you who will not judge you for whatever you tell them. You can just call them up, share whatever you want to. If you think it's very personal, you don't want to share, but you can at least share, I'm not feeling well at the moment. I'm feeling my mood is I'm really, really upset. Don't want to share the reason, but you can share your upset. You can say how you're feeling, like it's a verbal journaling that you do. And as long as the other person is not judgmental, they will just give you a quick fix of it. They will know how to make you smile, even if it's by saying a joke or distracting you, or getting you to think something else, or giving you a work which you don't want to do, whatever. But they will have a way for you to sort out. So you are not alone in this. You have that support system to bring you out. And whether you are very desperate, as a happy desperate or sad desperate or curious desperate, desperate means at the very high extent of your emotion, you need to calm down a bit to reason with yourself. Otherwise you'll never be able to reason with yourself. So that support system kind of brings you to the level. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing, not everything can be done by your own self because you don't know how to do that. So the support system comes in filling in those gaps where you don't know. And if you're not, if you're being like, if that's an external validation factor for you where you do not understand the effect of when they give you something or help you with something, you need to just take it and then build upon it. Then it can even go the other way around. So now again, as David just said, you can call that support system, you can call that mastermind. They can have the same goal as yours, or at least have some characteristics which is in line with you. So other than masterminds, also I have three support systems in my life. So one is my dad, unconditional support system. Second is one of my best friends. She also has a unconditional support system for me. Actually, my fiance is also one of my support system, and he has also been. I can't really say at the moment whether it's conditional or unconditional. Sometimes conditional, sometimes unconditional. But at the same time, he is a support system because of
Yeah.
the kind of trust and things that we have among us. He is a support system no matter what.
He's
So we are still redefining our relationship. So at this moment, I won't comment much on it. I might have to
he's a
pray a
huge
prayer for
support
that.
system, and Sumana, he's a huge support system. Let me assure you that you might not know, but it will come. It is there.
Yeah, I
Moving
know.
on from there, let me just ask you a question in relation to extended family. How have they? Yeah, I can see the eyes and I can see upward. It tells me I'm trying to
This
recall.
was out of
I'm
syllabus, by
already
the way.
collaborating. I can already collaborated, you girl. So, so tell me, extended family, how and what do they play with respect to your impact in your life?
They don't influence me for one. They
Okay.
don't influence me, or their decisions, their conversations never influence me at all. So I'm that way. I'm never in. I mean, I don't get influenced by people very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. They can never decide for me or anything. But at the same time, they are emotionally pretty much connected with me. So even if one of my cousin comes and believe me, it will affect me for a while, but I won't let that stay with me for long, and I will just walk out of it. That's it. In terms of support, I mean, now I can like right now I can see I'm kind of getting married in a very different caste and all of that, and
Yeah.
I can see the level of unjudgmental support that my cousin is all cousin are giving me. There were initial inhibitions from the elders, but my cousins actually worked through with their individual families one by one, and we love the way everything turned out finally for us. By the time from the engagement time to wedding time, the kind of shift is enormous.
Mm,
So let's say this is like I did not do anything myself actively in that, but I wished for it, that I just want all my family, all extended family, to be with me. But yes, my sternness of not letting them affect my decision is also plays a very big role, because I was asked at least 20 times by my cousins and other relatives, 20 times minimum. I mean, can be more than that. Are you really sure? Do you know what are you getting yourself into? Once this is done, we won't be able to support you directly. We won't even know what you're getting yourself into, like in your in-laws. So we won't be able to do anything for you. This, and this. Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? There were many people coming out with those doubts and stuffs like that. But eventually, because of my stern, adamant, committed conversation to them, and also because many of them know Anup as my friend, they could one of two people actually connected with him, also talked to him also, and they were all supportive. They have all been now supportive and very much part of this wedding as and when they can and how they can. So yes, external family is a support system to me. It's a strength to me because I don't let them sway my decisions. But I have seen other people in my family itself who let sway those decisions by other people, external validators. So there again, extended families can be a weakness for you if you are kind of using them as your validators of your decisions. But yeah, for me, that's again,
yeah,
I'm very stubborn.
excellent. No, stubborn in a good way. Most people don't realize, they're stubborn back in front. There's a good way of being stubborn. Now, I must salute you for that, because what happens, especially from my understanding of, I use the term cross culture marriages. In our case, in India, it's cross caste marriages. And there's been challenges in both sides in a lot of cases. And you've been able to handle that, from what you've been talking informally outside of the platform. And that's been a great credit to you, because it not only allowed you to rationalize some of these things, but more importantly, it allowed you to sink in and say, okay, I either fight it or fly off from it. And then you made the decision, as you say, your stubbornness. And that is a key element to a success in the marriage. So I'm sure here on it's going to be I wouldn't say it's a coastal ride, but you will have fantastic strength to combat issues, anything that pops up, at the same time be able to rationally think it, because you have your purpose also in line. So your clarity of thinking is there. Okay, so that's really good. I'm really proud and happy for that. Just let me deep dive into something slightly different. Look at the role, the characteristics of you of being a giver and self-awareness, and the threshold of when you give up to the point and then say enough is enough. Bang. Tell me about that. Talk about that.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm a helper, giver, empath. Very, very toxic to self kind of combination. Because understanding what the other person needs is more understanding than what I need. I can understand what the other people need more than I understand what I need. Okay, that's empath. And I'm kind of giver, like excellent giver, too much excellent giver, giving, and going to bed thinking I won't give anymore, enough. I mean, I've had enough with these guys, and then again early in the morning waking up and giving the same person and other people as well. So when this comes, it comes with a kind of a fatigue after a while, even in a very good state of mind. Also, it comes with a fatigue in the purpose of not kind of whether I'm getting back or not, but do I even have in myself enough to give anymore when my own needs are not being fulfilled either by me or by others? I mean, either by me, by my others. I'm not saying this is an expectation from others. It can be expectation from my own self originally. So having that boundary that I have given so much, even some of the times those the trigger, the emotional high trigger accidents that I'm talking about can be one of the indicators, firm indicators showing that I lost control because I gave too much and I did not give time to myself and couldn't kind of find time for myself and give what I require to myself. And I don't usually involve other people in that. It's me. I mean, it's me seeking that thing and getting that thing from the universe, from myself, from otherwise. If I can give to others, I should be able to give to me as well. So setting that boundary, it's enough. Now it's time for me to seclude myself, put in myself into a solitude. Otherwise, instead of giving, I will just give up. So that threshold of giving and give up maybe on the person, give up maybe on the particular situation, sometimes more hurtfully is sometimes even on myself in that particular endeavor. Let's say I'm like on an endeavor or outcome, and I'm kind of, I've gave it so much and I'm not being able to still achieve it. If I don't give myself the proper me time and rejuvenate and recreate, have some good me time and fun time, I might just give up on that particular mission and say, enough, I failed, I declare myself failed. So before doing that, to be able to bring in the boundary saying that stop the work and start playing, or stop doing what you're doing and start having a recreation time, me time. Me time doesn't have to be always meditation. I realize
No.
that it can even be just getting out and talking to strangers. It
Hmm.
can just to be able to be out of the phase that you are in. That's what is your me time all about. But understanding what actually you need and going for that, it can be a good sleep. I slept for 10 hours at a stretch one of these days, just because I just felt like that's what I'm missing most at the moment, not being able to sleep properly. So I
Right.
just, I mean, I mean, I usually sleep about 4 hours in a day. So 10 hours was a big deal for me. Like I slept for 2.5 days sleep in one time, as per my standards. So I did that, and that is very important, and it took me a long time to understand its importance as well as be able to set that boundary for me. So nowadays I do that a lot and be able to again restart giving. So to be
Right.
able to give, you need to have yourself fulfilled. So if I take David's words for this, fill your cup. I kind of say it in a different way. I say you have something in you to give, then only you can give. If you don't have that thing in you, how are you going to give that? You don't have love inside you. You don't love yourself, and you don't have the love inside you. No point in saying it's that you love somebody else. If you don't have give time to yourself, how are you giving time to others? You think you're giving time to others because you're not giving time, because you have not given time to your own self.
Yep.
So all of that comes, any factor you think, it comes like that. And life isn't about problem and it's solving, it is about giving, to me at least. That's the ideology I follow. So I give
And in each
without.
of these aspects, it is extremely important, and you can see it here, the audience. I'm just wanting to observe whether you can notice this. It is not just the emotion that you handle or the emotion that you walk away from, it is your competency that you build on that emotion. So when you build that emotional competency up, whatever comes to you, you can deflect it. And that's the key to handling and having a good relationship. Doesn't matter how crisis is going to be there, whether you like it or not. The intensity of the crisis is going to be there. So when you know with clarity of thinking, with a purpose, that crisis is going to come, what you then turn around and do is make sure you fill that cup. Fill it up as much as you can till it overflows. Then you know how to deflect that. And you have done that amazingly, because I know the challenges you had gone through early in the year, right through up to now, not just a relationship here we're talking about, but more in other areas that you had to combat. And so that's really powerful. Appreciate you being so open and honest with the community for them to learn from it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Sumana.
you so much. So, quick tip again from me, which I learned recently, and otherwise also. Quick tip is, if you're having a bad day already, never stretch yourself to do an important job. Please give yourself a relaxation on that day.
Mm,
Then work can be done the next day more efficiently than you doing this today with a fatigue. So when you know that your mind and your body needs rest, give it the rest that it needs. I learned this pretty much from my fiance. I wasn't this person at all, but I saw him doing this really effectively. If he's not feeling well and not up to the mark to do something really 100%, he'll just go to sleep and do it the other day, and will do 100% whenever he's doing it. So I learned that from him pretty much, and I adapted it in my life. It's helping me a lot. So that's a quick tip from me to others also. Please do so. And that's not
Fabulous.
astrology at all. It's just your own self saying that I am not feeling good today. I won't do the work today. That's it.
Yeah. Let's take it up another. Now let's look at the collaboration and the partnership here. How do you see teams, so to speak, within a relationship? And here I'm talking about a husband and wife team, and then the other teams that you have to had to set up to combat your support structure teams. How did you handle that, and how did you enrich that and build on it and draw from it?
I- I'm only in the ground floor building over that.
It's okay. Let me hear your ground
So
floor experience because there'll be others in the ground floor too.
yeah, I'm sure most people are already in the top floor. But anyway, you know how the people say that how your building is built depends upon what's the depth of the inside the ground, how much depth underground did you put the stabilization into. At this moment, I would say I'm putting a lot of effort into that. Even if there are a lot of fights because of it, I want the things to really work out. As a team, I would say being able to acknowledge that there are things he's really pretty good at, and I can let him independently handle it. And there are things I can independently handle, so he let me do it. The team factor comes with the trust, and a lot of trust and a bit of genuine appreciation. So it's very important that we genuinely appreciate what the other person is doing, is working through, and making that an effort. Okay. And especially if that's a need of the other person in the team. Not everyone needs it. So some people do need an appreciation in what you're doing. So getting that as a thing. Also, it is not about exposing your vulnerability, yet acknowledging your vulnerability with each other and letting the other person take a lead. I'm finding it very difficult to do that, honestly, because I am not one of those people who let anybody else take the lead, even if I'm vulnerable or not. But I'm learning that skill pretty much hard way, and I'm expecting us to become a good team, and I'm eventually being able to do that. And some things also comes up that okay, he's not good at this, and I know that he should be listening to me, he knows that he should be listening to this, but then he kind of was, why can't I do this, why don't you think I can do this? And that's fine. At the moment, that's fine, as long as we are still building that team. People acknowledging both of us as us at the moment has a lot to do with this, because the more they say we are not angry with you alone, but we are angry with both of you. When we say we are angry on you, it's both of you we're angry on, or we are expecting from both of you, you guys need to do this together. That kind of expectation set also looks to us as a team, a lot of it. When one few of my in-laws people come in and say, I've already discussed this with you. I like goes to my fiance and says, I've already discussed this with the sister-in-law, so the brother can just keep quiet, this is done and over with. That also shows us a lot of an essence that we are a team now. So as long as I approve something, they don't have to take a separate approval from the brother again. So sister-in-law has already approved it, I don't need you to say that. And we kind of try our best at the moment to level it up at the same pace. Like, if I know that something Anup is never going to say no to, even if I would have said no to it, I will not say no. I will just say, let me think over it, have a communication with him, and then come back to you. So a lot of this, which was before a direct yes or a no, has become let give me some time to discuss this, which is, I mean, this is a very, very lively difference, which kind of concentrates also on a, uh, you know, think that what are we actually doing here as a team. We are now even taking decisions as a team. And this is not only me and Anup, as you just said. It can also be me and my in-laws, we with the in-laws. It can be we with the my family side. So, but there we are together again. Kind of being able to see that we are together again, and this kind of helps again. So, what are we doing with
That's
that?
that's wonderful. Now, the key thing out of all of this is we are running out of time, but I want to sort of hone in just a quick sentence or two from you. I know this is a huge topic when we get into it, but we will park it for another day. The toxicity, the toxicness of your grant taking for grantedness, and the role
Um,
of your purpose as an antidote. So now we've got a three-way pyramid that we're going to talk on.
yeah, that's what
Before
it
we
is, a
pursue the
three-way
surface of
pyramid. The bullseye-ness of the all of the purpose, I already mentioned it before, so I'll
yes,
ask the audience to
yes.
kind of quickly remind yourself that, revise that within. So I'm bunking that part, that side of the pyramid, because that is your bullseye, that's your groundedness. Okay, so now you might think that I'm not taking I'm not taking anybody for granted. We have just been engaged a while ago. How can I take him for granted so early? It has nothing to do with time. When you are not saying or sharing your emotions, okay, you are taking the other person for granted right away. When you're letting that person be, okay, he's angry, so what? Tomorrow I'll deal with it. You're taking the other person for granted, the relationship for granted. The other person being angry is important for you to take some time and uh, cajole him or her, even if you are not wrong or right, doesn't matter who is wrong and who is right, but cajole the other person for a while, giving the other person some space when they require. If you're not giving them, you are bringing in toxicity of that for grantedness. So you're not understanding what is the requirement of that relationship in the time. That is a very important thing of for grantedness. Most importantly is, I tried my best and now I don't want to talk about this anymore. Worst way of getting that for grantedness is, you tried your best, you never let the other person try their
Try
best.
his best. Yeah.
Let them paraphrase it, let them tell you what part of it did they not understand. Continue the conversation or the communication. At least change the topic and continue it. If you can't continue on the same topic, change the topic and continue your communication. That's when you can kind of say that you have given the worth to the other person and not done the toxicity of for grantedness. I'm not a expert in this. I've also started on these relationships pretty much, but I've realized a lot in the entire day-to-day communications. A lot of this toxicity just creeps in and we don't understand. We kind of don't act, we're not able to acknowledge it properly, we're not being able to detect those signals properly. And what purpose does is pretty much clear. It shows us the essence. What are we missing in this? It shows us a sense, like my purpose or smile. And when I see that the other person is not smiling, is really, really lost the smile and is sad, I know I have deviated from this, from my purpose. It brings me back to, I don't know what am I going to do, but I'm going to make this person
Smile.
smile genuinely again. Until that time, I'll not give up unless he starts smiling. And when he starts smiling genuinely, not a joke or anything, but genuinely starts smiling, I am fine. Then I know he's fine, I'm fine. And that's what happens. A bit of a team here. I mean, if he's sad, I can't be totally happy and dancing around. And if he is happy, I can't even be sad, even if my day went very bad and he is very happy about that day. Kinds of balances, I start smiling when I see his day was nice. So this is also part of team
How
now.
true.
Being part of team now. Cutely so, yes, cutely so. And very recent realizations. I didn't know these can happen with me. I used to always think that my parents are the only people who can do this to me, but a stranger can do this to me, a friend can do this to me, a partner can do this to me, is a very, very recent revelation. Don't call this romantic, guys, but anyway, whatever. Even if you call it romantic, I don't mind. But yeah, that's what happens to me. That's what, and that's very,
Thank you.
very genuine as
It
an emotion.
it actually reflects where you are in a relationship, but more importantly, how you've grounded yourself to understand and grow over the period of time. And in particular, I'm saluting you again to see that 12 months since I first connected and started working. This is powerful, Subha. Truly salute you. Take my hat off. I'm going to see you on Monday in Calcutta, so we will connect again. But before we part, one quick statement for the crowd out there on relationships and how you are there controlling it.
Take care of yourself, your emotions, and then go and give in the relationship. So that solves everything for you. Don't expect a relationship to give you, you give to the relationship, and please fill your own self with those factors that you really want to give. Yeah, you are the player here. Don't park yourself outside the match. Don't
Fabulous.
become an audience of your relationship.
Yes. So true, so true. All right, lady. Thank you so much. You have a great evening. It's past mid morning, early morning here, wee hours of the morning. So we will connect with you again in the coming future. Next week. Take care now.
Works very much. Thank you. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye
Thank you.
bye. Bye.